the story out of the Big Apple saying that Jalen Brunson, that's a basketball player that plays for the New York basketball team, is open to signing a massive contract this summer, which would help the Knicks out, would do a solid for the Knickerbockers. But here's the thing. He would be leaving a ton of dough, really delicious dough, sugary, light, fluffy dough on the table. So you make the call, right? You make the call. Now, the tabloids in New York City say that Brunson is willing to sign a 4-year contract for $156 million. That's a great amount of money. Now, after you pay the New York tax and the federal tax, that's about $50, maybe $56. They might give you a break, give you an extra $6. But over $156 million contract total extension after taxes. Again, it's about $56. And he can sign that this summer. Now, that's a lot of money. It's a great mitzvah to get that kind of money. It's wonderful. However, if Jalen Brunson waits a little bit, he's got to bet on himself, right? Bets on himself. Jalen Brunson can sign a 5-year contract for $270 million dead presidents. That can happen in the summer of 2025. So would you, again, you make the call here. Jalen Brunson said, according to this report, he said to be open to leaving over $100 million on the table to sign with the Knicks this summer to do them a solid. Could you actually see this happening? You make the call on this one. So I've got nonprofit charitable organization, Candyland, and traffic ticket quota. We will combine all these things together, and we are going to make a hot dog stand, which they don't have. I've been in New York. The last couple of times I've been in New York, they don't have as many hot dog stands as they used to have back in the old days. You get a lot of falafel now. A lot of falafel. Not a lot of hot dog stands. It's a lot of stands in general. Last time I was in New York. Anyway, number one. To answer the question, could you actually see Jalen Brunson leave $100+ million sitting there on the table to help the Knickerbockers out? I am agnostic on this one. I am not a believer. This is risky business. Right? He's already got FU money. He's already got a lot of money. Assuming he's not frivolous with his money, Jalen Brunson already has enough money. He shouldn't have to work. Says, well, he doesn't need the money. Well, you say that. When you say it's not about the money, it's always about the money. And I know that Jalen Brunson is rooted in Gotham. I get that. He's beloved. He's everything Carmelo Anthony was supposed to be and a bag of chips. I understand that. But leaving money on the table in that business is a sin. And really in any business, it's a cardinal sin. And it's certainly easier said than done. It's easier for some blowhard to say, oh, you should leave money on the table and all that. I don't know about you, but I do not leave money on the table. I take all $18.72 I get paid here every hour. Yeah, but we are in a Missouri show-me state of mind. A Missouri show-me state of mind on this. In my life, commentating on sports nonsense, I can count on one hand and have extra fingers the times overall that I've seen people leave money on the table, took less money. Do the team a solid. Right? Do the team a solid. And while I understand rich is rich, and I get that, Jalen Brunson, if he left $100 and whatever it is million on the table, $14 million per year on the table, extra money, the NBA Players Association would be upset with Jalen Brunson. Like, what are you doing, you jamoke? What's wrong with you? You big Dumbo? What are you doing? Now, giving a break also to the Knickerbockers. I always get a kick when big companies claim poverty. And the Knicks are not claiming poverty. But James Dolan needs extra money to spy on customers, right? Isn't that what he does at Madison Square Garden and the other place? I get in trouble for that, but face recognition cameras and all that. But giving a break to the Knickerbockers, who, what were they, a non-profit charitable organization, unless they're actually worth almost $7 billion? Say what? And with the TV money, the great unknown, the NBA is about to sign new partnerships with possibly NBC, Netflix might, who knows? I mean, it's a wide open world there where the NBA is going to get their TV money. They're going to get their TV money. So our position is that well, Jalen Brunson, this is being floated out, makes him look like a good guy, looks a wonderful guy and all that. Our position is when everything is done, it will be not a dime back. No give backs that Brunson will not end up signing that contract this summer. No, we'll see. Be surprised by that. But my money, if you gave me $1,000 of funny money, my money is that Jalen Brunson does not end up taking less money. Now, we go to La La Land where the Lakers have a vacancy. They whack their coach because their team gagged. They got old LeBron and Anthony Davis, who vanishes for a half here or a half there. So they had to fire the coach. I read that this is quite the story. I don't know if you saw this. The Lakers are said to be infatuated with JJ Redick and what he conceivably would be as a head coach. Viewing him, I love this, as a Pat Riley-like coaching prospect. And could help the franchise short-term, and I love this part, long-term, could lead the team for years to come. It's what we call in the business the money quote. It was buried behind a paywall, the old gray lady, the Athletic. So the Lakers think JJ Redick has Pat Riley-like potential. What do you make of that report? So you are a coaching prospect, apparently, JJ Redick, and a prospect is a suspect until proven otherwise. And as Bill Parcells taught me when I was a little kid, potential is stuff you haven't done. Things you have not done. That is potential. And that's the way it is. But what I took away from this is it's good to have friends in influential positions. This was obviously coming from JJ Redick. It reads like his mom wrote it, like it's from his publicist. My God, gloating all over, dotting all over JJ Redick, Albert Einstein of coaching. JJ Redick, this is Candyland commentary. It's sugar-coated. And the longevity in La La Land is a myth. The Laker coaching job is a temp job. It is. Since 1999, there's only been one coach that's lasted more than a few seasons, more than 3 seasons. That's Phil Jackson. They've had 10 coaches other than Phil Jackson since 1999. 10. And nobody's lasted more than 3 years. Now, I do endorse JJ Redick. I never saw a player miss more clutch shots in his life than JJ Redick with the Lob City Clippers. And it took Doc Rivers like 2 or 3 seasons before he finally realized this guy is lacking the clutch gene, JJ Redick. He's one of the great shooters of all time in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. But as a player in the fourth quarter, there's no one I would rather have take a shot less than JJ Redick in a big spot. So if he coaches like that, he'll be great for 3 quarters and then just futz away the game in the fourth quarter. And more importantly, get him off television because he blows, right? It's very hard when you're doing a basketball game to sound like, as a viewer, you want to punch the guy calling the game. Like, part of what we do here on some level is likability. Like, you have to be somewhat likable. JJ Redick, there's nothing likable about the guy. The way he talks, he's got this Duke elitism, this smarmy arrogance from JJ Redick, and just get him off television. And my God, Pat Riley is a straight shooter. I don't think of JJ Redick like a straight shooter. And I talked to guys that were around the Lakers when Riley started, and he was a broadcaster. So, well, JJ Redick's a broadcaster. The thing about Riley is, well, he wore nice suits, right? At that time, there were a lot of coaches dressed like slobs, like Doug Moe and Don Nelson and people like that. And Pat Riley dressed professional. But in terms of his commentary, he was a straight shooter. He absolutely. I mean, I remember Big Joe McDonald, who used to be a big L.A. Radio guy. He passed away, but he would tell me stories about the Lakers in those days and what it was like and being around them. And Riley would tell when somebody sucked, he would tell the media. I don't know that JJ Redick doesn't seem like Redick's that kind of guy. All right, now final point. Speaking of broadcasting, another story made the rounds this week claiming that the NBA did not appreciate the dulcet tones of Jeff Van Gundy. I did not like him. He criticized the officiating. He criticized a lot of things in the NBA. And so the league complained to the small fledgling cable channel out of Bristol, Connecticut called ESPN. Now, the Athletic, they said there is no proof that the league ordered his banishment. Van Gundy, but they suggested that the NBA did play a role in Jeff Van Gundy's departure from television. So where are you at on this one? So this is a bit of a rerun. We talked about this when Van Gundy was whacked as a commentator. And he took a job with the Celtics, but it's a low-level job with the Celtics and all that. But I absolutely believed the conspiracy theory that was going around, and I don't even think it's a conspiracy theory. At the time, I believe it to be true, that people at the NBA have thin skin. They have salamander skin. And while the story, the way it was reported, it's being reported this way, again, it's one of these semantical arguments. Right? Having been in the game, been around relationships between sports teams and leagues and broadcast companies, I know what normally happens. I don't think this is any different than what normally happens. My experience in the business, it's kind of like traffic ticket quotas. In many states, did you know it's illegal for the police to have quotas? You can't do it. You can't. There's no quota allowed to write a certain number of traffic tickets every month. However, what I've heard is cops are encouraged to write tickets. That's why usually at the beginning of the month, not that many tickets. At the end of the month, you're trying to meet your official quota. So while the NBA, I don't believe, sent a message via email or text messaging saying, hey, we got to get rid of this Van Gundy guy, whack this guy, he's terrible. They just didn't have a problem with it, and they sent out a few messages critiquing his performance. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.